Have you ever wondered how ancient wisdom could apply to modern life? Let's take a journey into the world of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that's more practical than you might imagine. Among the Roman Stoics, four figures stand out: Seneca, Musonius Rufus, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. Each of them left us something invaluable: lessons on how to face life with clarity, purpose, and inner peace. Together, they offer timeless advice that speaks to anyone seeking a calmer, more resilient way of living. Let's start with Seneca, also known as Seneca the Younger. He was born around the turn of the millennium in what is now Spain. Despite being one of the most influential Stoics, he didn't live the quiet life you might expect from a philosopher. He was a playwright, a political advisor, and even a kind of ancient investment banker. At his peak, he was incredibly wealthy and influential, serving as a tutor and counselor to the infamous Emperor Nero. Now you might think, how could someone living such a lavish life preach simplicity? It's a fair question, but here's the thing. Stoicism isn't about rejecting wealth or comfort, it's about being prepared to live without them. Seneca taught that it's okay to enjoy the good things in life, as long as you don't cling to them. True happiness, he believed, comes from within, not from possessions or status. Seneca's life wasn't without drama. He was exiled to the island of Corsica, accused of adultery, and later forced to take his own life when Nero turned against him. Even in his final moments, Seneca embodied the Stoic ideals of courage and calm. He reminded his friends not to mourn his fate but to face life and death with dignity. Then there's Musonius Rufus, a name you might not have heard before. Unlike Seneca, Musonius focused on the practical side of philosophy. He believed that philosophy should be lived, not just studied. Musonius offered advice on everything from diet to relationships, always emphasizing that wisdom should guide our daily actions. He even argued that women should study philosophy, a revolutionary idea for his time. Musonius faced exile too, but instead of succumbing to despair, he turned adversity into an opportunity for growth. He found ways to improve his harsh surroundings and continued teaching those who sought him out. His resilience shows us that no matter where we are or what challenges we face, we can always choose how we respond. Epictetus, one of Musonius's students, brought a unique perspective to Stoicism. Born a slave, he knew firsthand what it meant to face hardship. Yet, he believed in the power of choice, the idea that while we can't control external events, we can control how we react to them. For Epictetus, freedom wasn't about physical circumstances, but about mastering our own minds. His teachings were practical and relatable. He taught his students how to deal with everyday challenges, insults, grief, anger, and showed them how to live with dignity and purpose, regardless of their circumstances. Epictetus reminded us that true power comes from within. And finally, there's Marcus Aurelius, perhaps the most famous of the Roman Stoics. As Emperor of Rome, Marcus faced immense pressures, wars, political unrest, and personal losses. Yet, he found solace in Stoicism, recording his thoughts in a personal journal we now know as the Meditations. In these writings, Marcus reflects on the nature of life, the challenges of leadership, and the pursuit of virtue. Marcus's life wasn't easy. He dealt with illness, the loss of children, and the constant demands of ruling an empire. Yet, he remained steadfast, guided by his Stoic principles. He believed in living according to nature, acting with justice, and focusing on what was within his control. His humility and sense of duty offer a powerful example of how philosophy can guide us through even the toughest challenges. What's remarkable about these Stoics is that their wisdom is just as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. Life is full of uncertainties, stress, setbacks, and losses. Stoicism doesn't promise to eliminate these struggles, but it does offer tools to navigate them with grace. It teaches us to focus on what we can control, let go of what we can't, and live in alignment with our values. For example, think about how often we get upset over things outside our control: traffic, the weather, someone else's behavior. Stoicism reminds us that while we can't change these things, we can change how we think about them. Instead of wasting energy on frustration or anger, we can choose to respond calmly and thoughtfully. Or consider the pressure to accumulate wealth and status, the idea that happiness lies in having more. Stoicism challenges this notion, encouraging us to find contentment in what we already have. It's not about rejecting success, but about ensuring that our happiness doesn't depend on it. Stoicism also helps us face life's inevitable hardships. When Seneca wrote about grief, he didn't say, "Don't feel it." Instead, he advised us to acknowledge our emotions, but not let them control us. Similarly, Epictetus taught that while we might lose loved ones, our memories and the love we shared remain ours to cherish. These lessons aren't just abstract ideas, they're practical strategies for living a better life. When you practice Stoicism, you start to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow. You learn to approach life with a sense of balance, embracing both joy and hardship with the same steady mind. And the best part? You don't have to be a philosopher or an emperor to live this way. Stoicism is for everyone, whether you're dealing with a demanding job, family responsibilities, or personal struggles. It's about finding inner peace and living with integrity, no matter what life throws at you. So, what can we take away from the lives of these Roman Stoics? First, that philosophy isn't just something to think about, it's something to live. Second, that true strength comes from within. And third, that even in the face of adversity, we can choose how we respond. In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, the wisdom of Seneca, Musonius, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius offers a guiding light. Their teachings remind us that while we can't control everything, we can control ourselves, and that's where true freedom lies. Whether you're looking for peace of mind, resilience in tough times, or simply a better way to approach life, Stoicism has something to offer. It's not about being perfect or emotionless. It's about striving to be your best self, one moment at a time. So why not give it a try? Start small. Reflect on what's within your control and what isn't. Practice gratitude for what you have. And when challenges arise, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." With these timeless principles, you might just find that the path to a better life has been here all along.